Morning, students. Today we are continuing our chapter Akbar the Great. In our last class, we have discussed how Akbar became the Mughal emperor after the death of Humayun at the age of 13 under the guidance of Bairam Khan, and how Akbar and Bairam Khan both planned and defeated Hemu, the commander of Adil Shah, who captured Delhi. And at the second battle of Panipat in 1556, Akbar confirmed the control of Mughal throne over this subcontinent. And today we will focus about the growth of Akbar's empire, how he extended his territories. First of all, we need to focus on his certain political decisions within the administration, what he did for the development of his empire and capturing areas. First of all, Akbar in 1560, at the age of 18, he removed Bairam Khan from his position and sent him to Mecca. Therefore, he took the charge of administration in his hand and embarked on further territorial expansion. So at the age of 18, he was free from Bairam Khan's control and he decided for the territorial expansion. But before the territorial expansion, he wanted to take measures to stop the conflicts within the nobility, and that's why he suppressed the revolt of his half-brother Mirza Hakim, governor of Kabul, and the Uzbeks who were unhappy of Akbar's growing strata. After dealing with these initial problems, he embarked on an expansionist policy. So first of all, he removed Bairam Khan. Second, he stopped Mirza Hakim's revolt and he controlled Uzbeks so that he could concentrate on the territorial expansions. First, he moved towards Malwa in 1561, and under the leadership of Adham Khan, Akbar's foster brother, the Afghan rulers of Malwa, Baz Bahadur, fled, leaving his subjects or common people to face the mighty Mughals. Malwa was annexed and Baz Bahadur was appointed at a high post in Akbar's court. Students, Akbar first focused on Malwa. Under the leadership of Baz Bahadur, Malwa was ruled, but when Mughals attacked, Baz Bahadur left the territory. After capturing Malwa, Baz Bahadur was appointed as the highest post to control the administration of Malwa. Now next it would be Gondwana, which was under the control of Rani Durgavati. Akbar attacked Gondwana in 1564 and defeated Rani Durgavati. After the defeat, Rani Durgavati committed suicide. See that Rani Durgavati in 1564, the Mughal army attacked Gondwana and captured. Next was Rajputana. Actually, Rajputana means Rajasthan area. They created problems starting from Babur's rule. Babur defeated them, though again they started to build up their power and started to extend their territories. That's why, as usual, during the time of Akbar also, he had to deal with these Rajput rulers with various ways so that they could be controlled by Akbar. So what were the various ways? First of all, he appointed Rajput kings into Mughal services and treated them at par with Mughal nobility. He gave them proper respect. He gave them proper position in the administration, like the Mughals only, like Man Singh. He also entered into matrimonial alliances with the Rajput kings by marrying the daughter of Raja Bharmal of Jaipur, Ambar, in 1562. He displayed his secular policies towards the Hindus. He also married the daughter of Uday Singh of Mewar. So you can understand, Akbar first gave respect, gave them proper position in the administration. Second, he went for matrimonial relationship with the Rajput kings. Next, Rajput kings recognized Akbar's supremacy and helped him to expand and consolidate the Mughal empire. But the Rajput policy was unique and helped to end the long conflict between the Rajputs and the Muslim rulers. It resulted in development of composite culture. You can understand Akbar followed certain policies which were totally different from the other rulers. A bond of friendship or matrimonial relationship he created, which helped Akbar to control these Rajput rulers. But all the Rajput rulers were not under the control of Akbar, or they didn't want to recognize Akbar as the superior. One of them was Maharana Pratap. The only king or Rajput king who stood against Akbar was Maharana Pratap Singh and his son Amar Singh of Sisodiya clan of Mewar. Sisodiya's capital was Chittor. Was captured in 1568. Rana Uday Singh fled from Chittor and left his loyal commander Jaimal in charge. The fort of Chittor was finally captured and Jaimal was killed. All Rajput women performed Johar. Johar means they committed suicide when their soldiers, the Rajput soldiers, died when the fort was almost controlled by the Mughal army. At that time they committed suicide. They put themselves in fire, and that ritual or incident is considered as Johar. Despite the loss of Chittor, the Rajput of Mewar continued their fight. Though Chittor was out of their control, but in other parts of Mewar they continued their fight. Uday Singh founded a new city, Udaipur, after he fled from Chittor. After going from Chittor, he developed another city within the Mewar, nearby Chittor, Udaipur it was. His son Maharana Pratap continued the struggle. Finally, the Rajput forces and the Mughal army met in 1576 at the Battle of Haldighati. It is a milestone of Indian history because after this, Akbar didn't had these kind of challenges by the Rajputs, and he continued his huge territories and expansion of his territories. The Mughal army was led by Man Singh of Amber. He himself was a Rajput, but he got position in Mughal administration. An ally of Akbar, Maharana Pratap was defeated, but he escaped to the hills and continued his struggle against the Mughals. And that's why Maharana Pratap is considered as one of the greatest warrior in Indian history. In between 1570 1585, Akbar captured Gujarat, Bengal, Bihar. Between 1585 1591, he established control over Kabul, Kandahar, Kashmir and Sindh, that means northwestern part of India. After 1590, his Deccan policy, Akbar brought territories like Ahmednagar, Berar, Khandesh under his control. Through his systematic expansionist policy, Akbar brought whole of India under his control. His empire stretched from Himalaya to the north to the Godavari in the south, and from the Hindu Kush in the west to the Brahmaputra in the east. You can see this. First of all, this area, Ajmer, this region was totally controlled by Akbar by following different policies, matrimonial alliances, giving them post in Mughal administration along with friendship, and along with the war against Maharana Pratap. Akbar finally was able to capture this Rajasthan region or Rajputana region. Gradually he captured in South India, Khandesh, Berar, Ahmednagar. In eastern part, Bengal, Bihar was captured by him. In the northwestern part, just now we have discussed Kandahar, Kabul, Kashmir. You can see these were also controlled by Akbar, and his territories from the north, it was from Kashmir up to Ahmednagar, Godavari Valley region. From the Kabul in the northwest, he had control up to the Bengal territory. So you can understand he had a huge area to control, and his expansionist policy was totally successful. That's why he was able to capture such a huge territory and controlled it efficiently.